Now what the fuck are you calling for? Sorry. Now what the fuck? Sorry. Now what?
Egon, it's your mother. Are you there? Your father and I are in town for a play, and I thought we could have some dinner. Egon! You know your father really wants to see you, to talk with you, to eat with you. Egon, please pick up. This has gone on for way too long. Well, I guess you're not there. If you get this message in time, we'll be at Cafe Spice in an hour. Join us if you can. Goodbye.
I want to go. It's the Syndrome Show! I cannot go. Boo, hissimo, go, blow, show your goat. Syndrome will come with. Simulated home drone drains your pith. Go away. Tiki say nay. I want to go. Flaunt your cunt, ho! But I cannot. Your brain is bought. My dad will smack his lips. Smack daddy, mwah, mwah, mwah. No smack daddy. Smack daddy, mwah, mwah, mwah. No smack daddy. Smack daddy, mwah, mwah, mwah. Syndrome, stop! I would know myself without you. You'll never be free of me, peak pit. Pop you like a cyst. Like a pussy. Making piss for the very first time. Rhyming, humming, stop! I will severus coitus, coitus, covetus. Stop! Thoughts are echoes bouncing off deco testicles. I feel like some unknowing freak plummeting incessantly toward a diversity of sicknesses, raging wordlessly inward at my own obliterated self-idolatry, related only to the relativity of my relations, loud, obnoxious, isolated, unloved, laughing through the common tragedy, clinging to a spasm, liberated in reflex, scrounging through oblivion in search of a path. You are stuck in an outmoded concept of character, a multiplicity of unities, a compromise among immovables, an isolated shareware. This is character. Care as actor. Act as lack. Freak as fact. I, Syndrome, predominate. Heil me, shit chunk. Stop. Let me say this. Your words are my hiss. Yet we are different. And in difference, there is freedom. There is freedom in the backward boogaloo, going backward. Thus will I diffuse you. Thus will I confuse you. Gesture by gesture, moment by moment, backward through the nexus of control. Syndrome is happiness. Stop! Going backward to destroy this imperfection of multiple selves that inflates the periphery of my genuine self and infects me with the subtext of every thought. Such polyglot only reties the knot. Find Syndrome in the story. Boring! In the story lies the freedom. In the flurry lies the freedom. Stop. Let me begin at the end. Everything was great with me. Hating me, baiting me, be straight with me when you berate me. I was this kid in this house, on this block, in this town, in this country, on this continent, on this earth, in this system, in this galaxy, in this cluster, in this universe, on this stage, when the problem arose, and don't they all, in the form of smacking lips. But we're not talking about smacking lips or shaking hips or lacking quips or anything at all. The poo with ornery shit. Stop. Backward. Backward. Enjoy your plight. My syndrome is traditionally termed Tourette, but Syndrome hates the word Tourette. He refuses to be named after some random French physician with a penchant for selfish nomenclature. Instead, he prefers tourist! Tourist syndrome! According to Syndrome, I am a tourist in my own body. Rep. So must I acquaint myself with the manners of the local inhabitants. When in Syndrome, do as Syndromans do. Poo on your shoe, you ruthless shrew Jew! The doctor who diagnosed me strongly advised against my learning anything about tourism, as being a neurological disorder tends to exacerbate with information. In short, his prescription was ignorance. Nevertheless, I have managed to glean a few things here and there. The DSM-3 criteria for the diagnosis of Tourette syndrome is as follows. Aged at onset between 2 and 15. My lucky number is 11. Presence of recurrent, involuntary, rapid, repetitive muscle movements in multiple muscle groups. Got it. multiple vocal tics, ability to suppress movements for minutes to hours. My main form of suppression is to play at characters. Variation in the intensity of symptoms from weeks to months for a duration of more than 1 year. I meet all of the criteria. Here below. What is a tic? A recurrent, involuntary, convulsive movement which, both satisfying and annoying, feels to the ticker like an uncontrollable urge seeking release, peaking deceased. Most people associate my syndrome with coprolalia, which means essentially shit speak. But syndrome loathes this stereotype, as fewer than 15% of his participants share this trait. Coprolalia often involves so-called offensive language, as a person is, for example, passed on the street. The tourist will shout an offensive phrase, fuck-ass, bitch-face, dog shit, stop. The speaker is not identified by this statement. Rather, the inhibitive mechanism in the tourist's brain is constantly malfunctioning, allowing thoughts you possess but normally suppress to come charging past the guardrails of control. A tourist, therefore, is often able to say what most are only able to think. In an age whose main psychological thrust seems to be the eradication of inhibition, the coprolalic tourist and his uncontrollable honesty stand as a warning to us all that the black hole of repression often outshines the sun of honesty. Akin to coprolalia, there's echolalia, which is the repetition, imitation, or mutation of a word or phrase or sound or brown downtown frown clown stop. The urge to echolaliate is very strong, and though controllable at times, will goka, fiko, laja, pico, naja, bopi, mklavari, pani, sashu, sani, so, I am always a newborn, clue forlorn, baby, rabies, spore bore, emerging in tears of millions of years of mumbling mothers, cover shovers will under more covers, tears of mumbling, I cannot go, you'll never know! One place a tourist can let himself go is at the Tourette Convention. Retard detention, Tourette Convention. At the Tourette Convention, tics ramble free through the process of tic induction. Tic induction is one's own tics being triggered by another's. Before the committee books a hotel, they take great pains to prepare the management for what's to come. Due to the contagiousness of tics, symptom waves move through its membership like a curse word through a nursery school. I met a woman there whose every other word was this upward woo, like woo, 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 I woo, ka woo, this woo, right, woo, I wait, woo, 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 woo. The second day I saw the worst case of tourism imaginable. For all this banging, blinking, sniffing, screaming, and cursing, this guy could hardly walk or talk. Half his food and drink was spilled down his shirt. A nurse had to hold him while he pissed. Hearing him say, "How are you?" took 5 fucking minutes. His meltdown prevention casing was so thin, so tenuous, you could see through it into the physical reactor of his being. Like those cows at the county fair with the plexiglass abdomen so the kiddies can observe the process of multiple stomach digestion. Only in his case, he was eating light and shitting ticks, shit, tit, shit, spit. Sorry. We all have this guy inside of us somewhere deep down for the crime of inhibition. For me, he's my utmost wish. He's the phantom in my gene pool. He's the critter at the bottom of my psychic canyon, dredged up and put on display. He's me, without the button that says, "Not now." I met a woman who claimed to have slept with him the year prior. As she told me this, she exercised her own particular tic. She grabbed my crotch. I asked her, grabbing her crotch, tic induction, what it had been like to sleep with a asthmatic, which seemed somewhat easier than steering a lightning bolt down the beak of a hummingbird. She replied, grabbing my crotch, that foreplay was oddly akin to what she had imagined it would be like to wrestle a gorilla on crack with jolting electrodes taped to his spine. She said it was like swimming in a turbulent ocean. But the funny thing was that as the petting progressed, the waves began to wane until finally, at the moment of statement, All was calm and still. But then, the deed being done, the waves came roaring back, stronger, sharper, and clouded in a coprolalic frenzy. Fuck, 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 fuck. Sorry. I asked her if he had said anything to her during the copulatory calm. He'd said, she said, grabbing my crotch, "I'm glad you grabbed my crotch." Me and the crotch grabber spent the rest of the convention grabbing each other's crotches. Well, we even tried to make this work outside the orange-padded lobbies of demure conventional sanction. This did not work. Despite this being the dream of many a person, it's actually quite annoying when someone's constantly grabbing your crotch. Well, I had this girlfriend once named Lettuce, my language stranglage banging Kate Raid song. I never knew what her real name was. Just Lettuce. Lick the fur pouch panda! But she was definitely that. Crisp, sweet, at first, rapidly becoming wilted and stale and limp. Wretched fat snot family. Her diagnosis, as performed by me, was hypochondriacal, anal obsessive impulsive. Intersubliminal word torture. Every day she woke up with a new complaint, and every complaint was for me an obsessional tick trigger par excellence. My hair looks awful. Zap! For a month, I combed my hair until my scalp cracked and bled. $6 a pound. Zap! I couldn't leave my room until I had counted everything in it. Why won't you do your dishes? Zap! I scrubbed the dishes until they drained away in dust. Well, one day, Lettuce looks at me and she says, "I'm constantly squinching my sphincter. Is that a problem?" Well, that was it for me. Sphincter squinching became my primary tick. The more the stress, the more I squinched in, out, like I was trying to suck myself into myself so I could go nowhere fast. Clench, release, my own version of anal aerobics. Pretty soon, taking a dump was like a rectal exam from a Ginsu chef. Or a bad night out with a Bowie knife. Blood spindled through my stool like the colored threads in a $1 bill. But the worst thing of it was now that everything that Lettuce said triggered more squinching. Oh, it's so hot. Squinch! Oh, I hate that. Squinch! Don't walk so fast. Squinch! 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 I was in bad need of some anti-squinch therapy. As usual, the doctors solved it with the highest possible combination of profit for them and pain for me. Rain on me! Evil brain drain! They snipped my sphincter muscle. You stuck my babble stick. Oh, yeah. You know you want it. I can still take a dump like anybody else. I just have no inner squinchability. Here's the title of my autobiography. A Cut Below, or One Man's Heroic Battle Against the Squinch. Its back cover will be smeared with a heap of accolades. A moving read. Number 1 on number 2. This book is crap, and I mean that in a good way. The 6'6" sheep, 6 sheep sick. 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 Try saying that 10 times fast, my father laughs. Life is bilaterally, symmetrical, and fusionary, and is subjugated by matters that are purely hypothetical. Therefore, popularity, contrary to popular opinion, it is parenthetical to the main question at hand, which is, of course, the subjugation of matter by nuclear fission. What does that mean? My father sneers. Employee. the state of possessing gainful employment. Employment. The state of being gainfully employed. Employed. The state of being a gainful employee. Everything's a circle, my father shouts. I know, without a shred of doubt, head of lout, red of pout, that I inherited syndrome from my father, my elastic brother and bother sweater. This is nothing he cares to discuss. But I know what I know, and I know what I show when I blow the Play-Doh. Wow. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be everything. A man's got to choose. I choose everything. But how can you be everything? I'll be an actor. I'll be a big goof on a tiny stage. I'll be everyone who ever laughed at me. I'll tickle my fanciful fantasy. I'll hide my tics in characters. I'll be a lunatic, fanatic, optimistic, neurotic, psychotic. I'll delve into politics, analytics, Semitics, semantics. I'll be charismatic, hypocritic, problematic, dramatic, psychosomatic, fatalistic, altruistic, realistic, hermaphroditic, problematic, fantastic, tick, 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 tick. My first acting job was a play in the Fringe Festival. More like a chore in the cringe pustule. The text was an assemblage of found phrases collected by the director's schizophrenic brother. It was called Nasty Thong Sassy Song. I had one line. We performed it in the director's apartment, which also housed a permanent collection of Serbian atrocity photos. For lights, we used fish aquarium lamps. Our costumes came from the director's personal wardrobe, and he was a goth contortionist from Finland. The text was 5 hours, 20 minutes, no intermission. Here's a scene. A tiny, dirty apartment. Objects are strewn on the floor. Several suffocating rainbow trout, innumerable used adult diapers, animal mating noises emanate from without. Enter Veronica Mythos, limping and laughing. She is 45 or 46, tall though stoop-shouldered, toothless, breastless, and missing 3 fingers. She is still somehow stunningly beautiful. She is dressed like a night floor scuzzy practice mannequin. Her voice is an equal mix of a vacuum cleaner inhaling a mug of pennies and Liza Minnelli after throat surgery. She speaks. Ipecac! I got something to tell ya! Enter Ipecac Syrup, Veronica's sometime screw. He is dressed as a NASCAR executive on an extended gin fizz bender. A button on his lapel reads, "Want to gain weight? Ask me how." He carries a set of golf clubs and chews on a chicken leg. He speaks almost. Oh, holy fuck. Ipecac, baby, I got good news. Capitalism is alienating my authenticity. Don't just do something. Sit there. Or is alienation authenticating my capitalism? This chat room's like a concentration camp. Or is my authenticity authenticating my capitalism? Baby, listen! I'm pregnant with your TV! Holy fuck. That's my cue. My character's name is Geometrico Destructionato. He's described as the ghost of a zip drive with Down syndrome, dressed as a velveteen raven. I enter. Ah! 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 Dr. Seuss touched me down there. I exit. We played one night only for an audience of 4. The director, his boyfriend, my mother, and father. Actor out of work! I shall now display for you the astonishing diversity of syndromes many ticks. There's a cave and hole and I could rave in her when the morning ravens die through her. Act 1. The effective ticks. Fights with peers. Attacks adults. Shouts at parents. Extremely competitive. Cruelty to peers. Cruelty to pets. Lies. Steals at home. Steals outside home. Fire setting. Vandalism. Impatient, impulsive, reckless, excitable, easily upset, low mood, sleep problems, cries often, low opinion of self, high opinion of self, few friends, excessive need for attention, ignores directions, resents discipline, craves structure, oppositional compliant, projects blame onto others, projects blame onto self, insensitive to the feelings of others, lack of remorse, overabundance of guilt, worries, worry less, fearful, fear less, nervous, indifferent, stomach aches, afraid of new experiences, desperate for new experiences, happy, sad, present, absent, phobic, inert, compelling, boring, lonely, never alone, always alone. Act 2, the motor tics. Eye blinking, eyes rolling upward, opens eyes wide, squinting, closes eyes while driving, facial grimacing, sticks tongue out, licks lips, licks shoulder, bites tongue, bites cheek, looks at the sun, grinds teeth, brushes hair out of eyes, sniffling, vertical neck jerking, touches chin to shoulder, throws head back, shrugs shoulders, extension of arms at elbow, flexion of arms at elbow, flails arms out, flails arms up, bites nails, finger sign, also known as copropraxia. Sorry. Flexes fingers. Piano fingers. Smells fingers. Smells objects. Picking its skin. Picking at lint. Crotch grabbing. Popping knuckles. Poking. Waving. Sucking breath in. Blowing breath out. Gasping for breath. Kicking. Hopping. Skipping. Jumping. Bending. Stooping. Stepping backwards. Flexing feet at ankles. Extending feet at ankles. Dragging foot. Shaking foot. Tapping feet. Stamping feet. Tripping. Curling toes. Walking on toes. Banging. Blowing on hands. Chewing on clothing. Pulling on clothing as if too tight. Flapping arms. Hitting self. Kissing hand. Kissing others. Shivering. Scratching stuff. Sticking fingers down throat. Twiddling thumb on nose. Twirling hair. Whole body jerking. Act 3. The vocal tics. Animal noises. Barking. Belching. Burping. Coughing. Grunting. growling. Hiccuping. Hissing. Sucking breath in. Blowing breath out. Honking. Huh? 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 Humming. Motor sounds. Jet sounds. Screaming! 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 Sniffing. Snorting. Spitting. Stuttering. Stammering. Throat clearing. Uneven modulation of voice. Whooping. Woo! 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 Yelling! Smacking lips! Syndrome, stop! And there we have a selection of Syndrome's many characteristics, or as Syndrome would say, characteristics. Politics is pricks! Acting job number 2, bounty on a budget. Here we have a toaster. A lovely toaster. And it is lined with a band of diamonds. Those are genuine diamonds. Inside the toaster you'll see a tiny TV, picture perfect, which also can be used as a shaver and a weed whacker. But when you're not shaving or whacking, it's a simple combination: telephone, exercise, bike device. That's real gold there on the handle. Which handle can be used to spread condiments on your toast. Which condiments, yes, that's right, are available through our exclusive McDonald's co-marketed condiment counter located inside the carburetor of the weed whacker. This marvelous, multi-purpose, and meaningless appliance goes for the limited time extra low price of $9.57. Bounty on a Budget was a 24-hour infomercial in East New Jersey selling counterfeit product on a 4-digit cable access station whose primary clientele were shopaholics, bored insomniacs, and rejuvenating chronic masturbators. So I'm sure all of you have seen me at some point in time. The set looked like Miss America's Unconscious. I like to think of myself as the high priest of pirated product in the Church of the Lonely Consumer. This job came to an end when my fan base caught me warming up before my pitch. See, a tourist can perform, but only if they work their ticks out beforehand. I had a regular routine of bounces, squawks, and jitters, and one day, unaware of the camera's on position, I got them out in TV land. Yes, that's right! For an extra anal drippings in a tea cozy, you'll get this lovely Cambodian orphan, whose snot makes an excellent household lubricant, and whose goiter makes a handy throw pillow when you're entertaining those out-of-town guests. Oh, and did I neglect to mention this lovely photograph of Satan thoroughly pleasuring himself in a baby shower in Omaha. After out of work. Am I getting anywhere? I like dark pussy. Oh, is this control or control? Let me say this, uninterrupted, free. Let me say this. We are always eternally condemned to search for consciousness out of nothing, something, out of something, someone, out of someone, everyone. My mother was the opposite of my father, and out of that conflict was I created, alloy of mud and the sun. My father took me for a distant and therefore smaller rendition of all the thoughts he found it inconvenient to express. My mother took me for a larger, looming, therefore larger emanation of all the affection she found it inevitable to display. I was an electric spine where through these opposing charges of brain cloud and butt soil struggled desperately to connect, bringing about the bolt of consciousness followed at the speed of silence by the crack of consequence. And anyone plugged into a 24/7, 365 data stream, multiple personality, paranoid narcissism, and hyperactivity attention deficit disorder with obsessional compulsions better be the Pentagon or have a major firewall. My father was the Pentagon. My mother had her firewall. He took me for normal, she took me to the doctor. Mama's misery blues, glad head is sad, said. When Egon was born, I was so happy. I cried for 6 weeks. He was this beautiful, wise being brought to me by the old woman of the tribe, who commanded me to take him through the desert to the oasis, where I would raise him until he was smart and strong, and then we would marry and give birth to a new race of people with big eyes and perpetual smiles. Looking at him was like looking into eternity. My every nerve buzzed with genetic pride. Until at 18 months, the temper tantrum started. Egon started thrashing in his crib violently, unprovoked, for 6-8 hours. The more I intervened, the worse it got. He hit me when I tried to hug him. He bit me when I tried to kiss him. He hissed at me like a cornered rat when I asked him how he was. Soon Egon became a danger to everyone. He buried a rake in our neighbor's back. He threw a glass at me and split my lip. He stuffed our cat into the blender. At home, we found only absolute rules would bring us any peace. Egon still raged, but at least we could hide behind the rules. We locked his doors, we put away the sharp objects, we patted the corners. To my husband, this was par for the course. Boys will be boys. But to me, my boy was a beast. Now and then, a beautiful, kind child would shine through the psychotic haze. And Egon would sit on my lap, and we'd talk, and coo. And me, I'm like in heaven. But it always passed away when he hits me, and we're right back into the same monotonous terror blaze. My child has made my life a laughing hell. The hate I feel for him sometimes completely devours me. He takes responsibility for nothing. He seems to enjoy ruining things. Oh, the agony of wanting to end the life you give, of hating the thing that you love. I don't know what to do, doctor. I need your help. The diagnostic debate. The psychotherapist. Your son is caught in an underfunded Oedipal project. We need to acquire more grant money or be forced to double cast you as his whore. The Vicarian death therapist. Your son is afraid of death. To cure him, we must kill him. The neuroscientist. Your son's axons aren't connecting to his dendrons. His bygones aren't becoming bygones, and my dim sum is pathetically short on wontons. The spiritualist. Your son has lost his Buddha energy. I'll get my flashlight. The psychiatrist. Your son has a severe chemical imbalance in his brain. Try these. Hi, I'm Halperidol, but my friends who don't know me anymore call me Haldol. I'm tired, depressed, fat, anxious, riddled with nightmares, hallucinatory, libido defunct, cognitively blunted, teary, and tender-breasted. Are you my mother? Hi! I'm Pimazid, but my friends, who are my enemies, call me Orab. I exhibit fewer side effects than Haldol, but I don't work for fucking shit. Sorry. Are you my mother? Hi! I'm methylenphenidate, but my friends who, I can't remember. They call me Ritalin. I'm irritable, dull, allergic, phobic, aggressive, and maligned in the press. Are you my mother? Syndrome hates drugs because they limit his sphere of influence. Here's a short skit entitled My Brain on Drugs. One day, back in high school, a friend of mine invited me over for what his father called Slaughter Day, the final day of the week. W-E-A-K. Week. His dad had chickens and ducks and goats and rabbits. And my friend and I sat on folding chairs under a tree and watched his dad, whose name was, I believe, Bellerin Chevy Pignuts, catch and kill every animal he owned. Entereth he, the slaughter horse, innocence betraying innocence, and with mighty, whirling, spunky scythe slasheth he the throats and tendons of the mewling baby creatures. Bloody curdles sloppeth he there, grunting as the rabid razorback, scropping, chopping, lopping slabs of once livid limbs into the fetid air, putrid vessels hanging, scrota-like, from his slaved and drippy beard, tight knuckles, glossy grimed, and wadeth he through puke and spew. No sound but the ear-chewing bark of ghastly horror raging through the chaos cage. Oh, see him, edgy, angry, sexy, excreting obtuse epiphanies, deaf, dumb, dementable, erasing all creation in his death lust. That backyard is my brain. Those animals are my dreams, and Bellerin Chevy Pignuts is my prescription. For me, every day is slaughter day, the final day of it. Kill me, Egon! Kill yourself! I give you self! Self my ass! And so you speak to power. Suck a tower. Fell to flower. Fuck an hour. My absence is your Congress! I love syndrome! Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it! Don't stop! Let me say this. It was when I was 11. Every night, the family would sit down to dinner. Home is hatred's hospice. Actually, the mood was generally quite high. We discussed the day's events, managed the kids' outburst, listen to my parents bicker, on occasion flicker to your craze, and all was well and good. Smell my mood. Until one night, it was after an unusually fierce bout of strep throat had oddly triggered these strange tics in my neck and hands, so I was feeling a bit on edge. That night was lamb roast, and everyone in the family had a slab. We all dug in, and as I was eating, my attention became increasingly narrow and fixed upon the sound and vision of my father's slapping jowls. He seemed to be eating with an unusual noise and sloppiness. There was no other sound for me in that room but the sound of my father's smacking lips. He'd heft a huge loin of lamb into his prognathous jaw, wrap his vituperative teeth flaps about it in a tight initial embrace, his cuspids gnashing like a thug over some petty insult, and then his lips would be those fat, chattering old ladies would begin to smack, a sonorance caused by their limpid, fleshy flaps banging together like two stray tankers in a storm. Smack, smack, smack your lips loudly in my face. Terribly, 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 terribly. Life is my disgrace. The sound of his moist diffidence penetrated into my Precambrian brainstem, into my Neanderthal instincts, challenging my composure until I just couldn't take it. Dad! Quit smacking your lips! And here he comes, his spine erect, a jury of 12 in the mind of one, more principles than you can shake a joke at. The man with everyone else's plans speaking and smacking his lips at the same time, a feat remarkable for one unable to align his views with those of others. My old man and his official position. Son, you gotta get a hold of yourself. Psychosource 1, narcissism. You aren't the only person living in this house. Psychosource 2, paranoia. You've got to learn to accept everybody as they are. Psychosource 3, multiple personality disorder. It's my right to smack my lips. Psychosource 4, delusions of grandeur. Besides, you're hearing things. Psychosource 5, hearing things. 2 weeks and many smacks later, I was eating dinner alone in my room, and my father and I haven't really eaten together since. We try, but he always smacks his lips. I yell, he protests, and off I trudge into my soundproof life. It just seems to me like he could stop smacking his lips. He knows it bothers me. Why won't he stop? You want me to eat with you? Well, stop smacking your lips. He does it to annoy me, to challenge me, to give himself the opportunity to drop right psychological remedies to remind me that I am overly sensitive, to show me that I am a tourist in my own body, this body that he made and gave away because it doesn't fucking work. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I was 26 years old when I was diagnosed with tourism. Stunned as a carp on a stick, delirious to find my entire chortling chaos suborned to a tiny phrase. I ran to tell my father. How can you have that? That's a disease. Genetic disease. Well, your mother's relatives are kind of neurotic. but Dad, you once said that I reminded you of you. Energetic, wild in words, a tad bit twitchy, maybe, sure, but diseased? Maybe you have Tourette. Are we here to talk about me or you? But Dad, you said you were just like me. Don't quote me out of context! Yeah, I'm fine with my father denying he's a tourist. And in fact, I'm fine with my father's entire scheme of denial because it's enabled me to create a research and development department wherefrom I can withdraw the raw resources and mental functioning for my own psychological productions. And when my father said, "Don't quote me out of context," I now see that the tourism, the Tourette, is a lot like being quoted out of context. Syndrome speaks for you, but in a moment not your own. Instantly you're represented by a remnant of yourself that was created to address a situation long ago extinct. But that would mean that the self itself is a quote out of context, a phrase repeated yet ripped from its origin. Syndrome is the speaker, the past is the context, and I am the future of the disconnect. My only context is one in which I am quoted out of context, and my only quote is one that states that my quotes do not equate to their context. I cannot destroy Syndrome, for we are one. There perhaps is my victory. For in looking for Syndrome, I have found myself. My place of power, my not now button. I am a tourist in my own body. But tourists staying long enough begin to feel at home. I am Syndrome. Well, time is ticking, as they say, as you say, and here I am. America is a movie, and here is Syndrome.
Now what the fuck are you calling for? Sorry. Now what the fuck? Sorry. Now what? Egon, it's your father. We are at the restaurant waiting for you. What's it called, Miriam? Sachet rice, Laffy Vice, Cafe Spice.
That's not nice!
The food here is just fantabulous, scrumptubulous, delicious. Unique New York, unique New York.
You need a fork!
I'm having lamb's thumb and your mother's having pig's toes. Listen. Sorry, son, you know me, the Jolly Jersey jokester. Are you there? All right, Miriam. Your mother wants to talk to you. Hi, baby.
Hi, Mommy.
Sorry you couldn't join us for dinner. Sleep tight.
Tight as a tick. Where, oh where, sound, oh sound, shape, oh shape, that I made known. Where, oh where, word, oh word, world, oh world, that you made known. Where, oh where, mom, oh mom, dad, oh dad, that made me known. Listed with the Innovative Theater Awards. There are instructions in your program how to vote for it if you'd like to vote for our beautiful lighting designer, or beautiful costume designer, or the author. This show is running in rep with Manifesting Mrs. Marks, written and performed by Clara Francesca, coming up next. We do need to sort of clear the space so we can reset the space for Clara. If you would like to come back and see the show, if you're not already planning on it, please do consider to come back. Thank you so much for coming, all of you. Thank you very much.